Hello, and welcome to the 18th season of Yeah, We Read It. I am one of your hosts, Maggie,
I'm also one of your hosts. My name is Laura.
and this season we are doing better than the movies, nothing like the movies, and
And
we're
then
also
Fixating.
going.
Basically, we're doing
Yep.
we're doing a smorgasbord of Lynne Painter's novels, and we're really excited about it.
Yes, it's kind of our little ode to things we love. I think I could speak for both of us when I say we love romance and
We
we
really
love
do
the
love romance.
Midwest.
The level of kicking our feet and going we've been doing in our texts to each other as we've been reading is not zero. It is definitely more than 10.
Oh my god, yeah. Also, I mean, she has so many nods to the Midwest. When I
Yeah.
saw Scooter's Coffee come up and Hy-Vee, I lost my mind. I was like, "Oh, I need to look up where she's from." And she's from Omaha, Nebraska. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, that the first one takes place in Nebraska, and then the other ones take place elsewhere. But no, I've been having so much fun. These books go down like water. They're so easy to consume. I like it's like I'm eating candy, but I never feel sick off of it. You know?
oh my god, yes, I kept posting a joke on my close friends on Instagram where I would post a photo of the first book, Better Than the Movies, and it was 10 p.m. and it's next to a bottle of wine. And I go, this and never going on a date again because I'm too afraid to be vulnerable. And then I timestamp at 2 a.m. after I finished it. And it's the cover of the second book. And I go, this and being too afraid to go on a date again because I don't want to be vulnerable. And that was my bit. I
It's
went to work the next morning and I was like, I was up till 4 a.m. reading. Relax, Maggie. I just want to be kissed so
Maggie
bad.
will
It's
not relax,
ridiculous.
and neither will we. I'll be honest. I did not stay up till 3 a.m. reading these books just because I'm not good at staying up till 3 a.m.
Well,
Um,
that's because you're in a relationship too. I'm not. So I need
yeah.
this is my blood right now is romance books.
You're like my boyfriend's all of these books now. So
It really is. I mean, Lynn Painter, I've gotten into Emily Henry recently too. It's been consuming.
yeah,
And
Meg's in deep.
readers, I'm not opening Hinge ever again. I'm cracking open a book. Thank you very much. I've
Thank
reached
you very much.
spinster status at age 31.
It is spinster status reading YA romance at 31. Eh.
Whatever. It's I love
No,
it.
it's honestly it's nice. It's nice that people just kiss with their clothes on. I love it.
It's nice that people kiss with their well, and kissing with your clothes on is a gateway drug to love. So
I know. I made that joke last night. I was at a friend's going away party, and somebody was a librarian there, and was talking about another YA series, and somebody was like, "Oh, it's smut," and they're like, "No, it's YA. It's not smut." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, they all kiss with their clothes on, so stop it."
I love that you're recycling a joke from last night because I'm also recycling one where we were talking about JD Vance and Erica Kirk getting together because they were
Boo.
hugging, and I kept saying, "Well, hugging is a gateway drug to sex." So we really are. We're all about recycling our bits from. This is like
As
you
we
guys got to
should.
hang out with us on Halloween weekend. Now,
Exactly. Exactly. Like, yeah,
exactly.
our best behavior on Halloween. Our best bits come from that evening.
It is, and that's why we're having such a long intro. We're just very excited. And if you're
Well,
like,
it's also been a minute. We took a few months off, and now we're locking the fuck back in. So we have to also get our zoomies out, you know,
we really do our verbal zoomies just
our
running
verbal
around the
zoomies.
microphone. We did. And you know what? I feel like 4 minutes in is a good stopping point for putting our zoomies into segueing into the book.
Now we're centering our zoomies to focus on the task at hand. Still zoomified, but now centered around the book that we've read.
Zoomified around literary analysis of Better
Yes,
Than the Movies.
we're literary zoomies now.
Yep. So we're running tracks around it. And like we said, this book is set in the Midwest. We're in Nebraska, where Libby, a romantic comedy obsessed teenager, is just wanting her happy ending and a romance story of her own so bad.
And we learn that Liz, she has been a romantic from a young age. She was always watching rom-coms with her mom, who was a screenwriter, and she lives next door to a troublemaker named Wes. And she's also besties with her friend Jocelyn. And we also learn pretty early on that Liz's mom is dead. So like she really, really like clings on to her rom-com films that she watches over and over and over again.
Yeah, because that was the glue that really held their relationship together growing up. They would watch all of Bridget Jones, they would do all the Nora Ephron movies.
Mhm.
And so clocking in with her neighbor Wes and her have a very playful enemies vibe, I would
Yeah, kind
say.
of like, like they pick on each other a lot, but like the stakes are low, you know?
Stakes are very low. They're mostly fighting over getting this forever spot, as they call it, which is a parking spot close to their house. They are
Yeah.
always, one of them is like getting the other one towed, like really sabotaging this forever parking spot
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we,
they
like,
don't want to
open
walk up
in
the
the
hill.
book on, like, Wes has, like, put tape all around her car, so she has to, like, peel it off to get inside. Classic prankster Wes. At school, we learn
Classic.
that, like, Liz, like, fits in, but is definitely a standout by the way that she dresses. She's always wearing, like, what I would imagine just as her entire wardrobe is ModCloth. If
Wadcloth.
we
Me
Yeah,
too. Yes. She brought
yeah.
up houndstooth dress at one point, and I go, girl, I know exactly where you
I was
shop.
like,
It's
"Girl,
ModCloth and Forever 21.
2013 is over." And it has been for a while.
Oh my
Uh, we
God.
also
Yeah.
we also learned that, like, I really like these books because the characters definitely have flaws, and Liz's flaw is that she so desperately wants to be the main character that one of her flaws in my eyes is that she hates this girl Lainey, who's just nice. But like Liz sees her as like, oh, she's like a pretty girl on the dance team, so of course we can't get along. And it's like, you're making competition out of nothing, Liz. But okay,
It's like the mythos of hating the popular girl just because she's popular. And it's like, well,
yeah,
is she hateable? Is she actually doing
yeah.
anything
Like, what'd
that's
she actually
excluding?
do
Or is she
though?
just nice and bubbly and popular?
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate to that because I did that a lot too in high school. I get it.
Oops.
Internalized misogyny. That's
It's
that's
it is very high school, the
the
internalized
glue of
misogyny.
being a 16-year-old girl
Oops.
who's insecure. But none of that matters because Michael Young, who is her childhood crush, blonde haired, blue eyed, moved to the South. He's got this little Southern drawl now. He is back in school. So this is huge for Liz.
And we get a good slow motion entering of Michael is back in business, and Jocelyn is obviously filling in Liz on all of what she's heard about this. But Liz is immediately tunnel vision on Michael, and Jocelyn's like, "Dude, you gotta stop doing stuff like that. It's a little much." But Liz will not listen.
And
Um,
Jocelyn is like, also, I've heard that him and Lainey are talking the popular
yeah,
girl up. So maybe hands off. But Liz is like,
no,
I deserve my happy ending.
she also deserves her meet cute, which she thinks is going to happen in this hallway, but no, because Wes is also there with Michael. So Liz is like, this is kind of interrupting what this meet cute was supposed to be. He was supposed to see me again after all these years and fall in love with me immediately, but that is not the case. Instead, it's mostly Wes and Michael talking, and her just kind of gawking at Michael, being like, "Wow, he's here." And Wes is like, "Hey, Michael, you want to come to this party with me this weekend? Now that you're back and we're besties still." Um,
Yeah,
and
and then also I like there's an aside that Liz is like upset that Wes didn't invite her, and it's like, why? I
you're not
I
friends.
the only vibe I would get from you is that you hate me and like I
Yeah.
probably also dislike you. Like all we do is fight. We're neighborhood rivals.
But Liz is gonna somehow Liz is so crazy. I love her. She's like, I have a plan this evening. She goes and knocks on Wes's house, and like Wes's mom is like, interesting, but yeah, come on in.
She's
And
just banging down his front door in the rain, and Wes will not let her in. And his mom is like, take pity on the poor girl. Let her in. She is soaking wet.
yeah, so mom gives him some cookies. They sit on the couch, and Liz is like, hey Wes, you're my in for Michael. I need you to help me get him to fall in love with me. And Wes is like, stupid, but okay. What do I get? And Liz is like, I thought about this. You get the parking spot in exchange for your help in this endeavor. Um,
And he's like, Liz, all right, I'll help you, but no offense, you gotta just crank it down about 10 notches. You really gotta relax. Not everything is a romantic movie. And
yeah,
I kind of love that it's so cut and dry that he talks to her. He's like, it's not like that. And also, they were watching a movie at the same time, and
yeah,
she is like, it's a classic enemies to lovers trope. I mean, they're really planting the seeds.
yeah.
And he's like, well, that's not you and Michael's story. Yours is like, followed him around like a puppy forever, and now the puppy becomes the girlfriend, I guess, and she's like kind of offended by that. But I mean, that
Yeah.
is what it is. He's like, I guess that would be your
Yeah.
story.
He's like, okay, if you want to talk tropes, like there's not one for like, oh, this guy that you were kind of friends with once is now back in town and now you guys fall in love. There isn't one for that.
No, yeah,
Um,
I guess maybe like second chance love,
yeah, well, yeah, because didn't they talk
but
about
they weren't
like
even in
I
love the
think they
first
talked about
time.
that a little bit, like Sweet Home
Sweet Home
Alabama is like a second
Alabama.
chance thing, but like
Yeah.
they never dated before, so the vibes are also different because that's usually the case.
Yeah.
I digress. We also get a really, really good flashback memory here of after Liz's mom got remarried, she sold all of her mom's DVDs, and Liz was so upset that she went to like the like Salvation Army to buy them back, and she was like $5 short, and she like bikes home crying, and Wes gives her like $10 to go buy the DVDs, and it's actually really sweet.
It is really sweet. So, I don't know. They were buddies as kids, but
Yeah.
just modern annoyances. So, usually Libby utilizes like runs. She'll go on runs to go talk to her mom's grave,
Mhm.
obviously, about things going on in her life because her mom's not there for her senior
We
year.
should clarify. I've been saying Liz, Meg's been saying Libby. Those are the same person.
Oh
That
yeah,
just
she's
Libby
got
is
a
the
nickname.
nickname. Her real name's Elizabeth. People call her Liz. People call her Libby.
Yeah, people call her Libby in the sense of like people that she loves and her
Yeah,
mom and also her reader base, Meggie Gates.
yeah.
So that's why
Because
I've
Liz
earned the
loves Meggie
Libby
and Meggie
nickname.
loves Liz.
Exactly. Um, so Liz is running to her mom's grave, catching her up. She's like, Mom, you'll never guess who's in town. Michael, you must have sent him for me. I finally get my happy ending. You're going to be so excited for this. Like, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And like, readers, you might be thinking like, oh, that's sweet that she would just like go fill her mom in like on one day. This is very often that she does this. She does this multiple days a week. She goes on a run to her mother's grave and like fills her in on like the life that she is living. So that's one of her routines.
And she is a senior now. We don't know how long it has been going on, but mind you, her mother died when she was in fifth grade.
Yeah, so it's
So
been a while.
feels like we might need a different coping process. Like that's a long time. That's like almost
Yeah.
10
It's a
years.
long time. We also learned that, like, Liz is not living her senior year to the fullest. Her friends one night, Jocelyn, Kate, and Cassidy, come through her window and are like, "Hey, we missed you at like the senior prank planning committee. We thought it'd be really fun to fill you in on like what's going on." And Liz is like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm too busy being romantic." So yeah, Liz is kind of again
Yes.
putting herself first in a way that's putting everything else around her at a second tier, bottom tier.
And Liz is also really trying to hide this from Jocelyn, specifically her
Yes.
best friend, because Jocelyn has given her a big fat no on it because Michael is talking
Yeah.
to Lainey and the ethics and morals around that is not great.
Exactly. And to be fair, Jocelyn is correct. It's a little shady to be like, hey, he's kind of dating somebody else right now, but you're really going to keep trying. And Liz is, yes. But Wes tonight is going to come pick her up for the party. He's running late, and Liz is like, wow. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah,
And he's
he's like
only like 10 or
15
15
minutes.
minutes late.
It's
Like,
fine. He's probably getting ready. And
yeah.
also, she's not telling Jocelyn where she's going because Jocelyn has mentioned that Orion party is so annoying. It's just a ton of frat bros. It's bogus. It's all these popular people. So that is the vibe of this.
Yeah.
They go to the Rhino party. Apparently, his nickname
Yeah,
is
his name's
Rhino, which
Rhino,
is
Ryno. Uh, my
yes.
favorite thing about this is like the picture we've been painted of Wes in Liz's mind is like immediately debunked. He's like super popular. He's not drinking because he has to drive home. He's literally there just to like hang out and be home in a reasonable time. And like I really thought like because of like Liz's eyes on point of view on Wes, I was like, oh yeah, and he's gonna get like raging drunk and be like super flirty with a bunch of people. And I'm like, oh, he's actually just a nice guy.
Well, not only raging drunk too, she was like, I thought he was going to be driving with a beer bong. So, like, full on DUI status.
Yeah, and she was okay with that to get close to a man that she might fall in love with.
I mean, listen, in the Midwest, I feel like drinking and driving was a staple in Iowa because
I
that's just
disagree with that, but
in our high school before Uber. Absolutely, I feel like listen, Lynn Painter knows what's up in Iowa with all the cornfields and nowhere to go.
there is no drunk driving in this book. Let us be clear about that.
Ohio and Iowa, I guess we have different points of view.
That again did not happen a lot, where I'm from, at least, or at least
That's
I'm
fair.
unaware of
This is also
it.
not an endorsement. This is
Yeah,
truly
I was
just
like,
me
let's not
objectively.
like romanticize this in any way,
Oh,
shape, or
no,
form,
no, no.
please.
This is me just objectively reporting what Iowa was like in high school, which was
And
that's what it
objectively
was.
reporting how embarrassing this party is for Liz is she's wearing one of her mod cloth dresses, and when Michael enters, he's like, "Oh, hey, where do you work? Nice uniform,"
Oh
because
my god,
that's
I
what
love
her
that.
dress style looks like. She lies and says she works at a diner called the Diner. It's so embarrassing.
It really is. Yeah, she can't come up with any better of a name. And meanwhile, she is at this point also trying to save Wes from an interaction, which I think is so funny because I also have done this. And it's always like saving a friend who I think is not having a good time, who's talking to a really hot person. And I'm like, they're clearly not into it. I can't tell. I don't know. But this beautiful blonde girl, Ashley, who apparently Wes is clearly not into what Liz is picking up, is
Yeah.
laying it on way too thick. And Liz, in an attempt to save him, tells Ashley that she is seeing Wes. And Ashley is a gossip mill. So she
Yeah.
is going to run this rumor around the party.
Yeah, Liz just acted. She acted before she thought. But Liz is also going to try to take the beat the rumor mill before it gets to Michael, and she's going to work up the courage to be a little bit flirty, and she's going to tell Michael, "Hey, I kind of had a crush on you when we were kids. Isn't that just like so random and crazy?"
And just as Michael admits, he also kind of had a crush on Liz. Here comes Ashley. She vomits all over Liz's work uniform. That is actually like just a really cute
That is
dress.
actually quote her favorite dress.
I imagine she looks like the lead in Waitress at this moment.
That's so funny, Maggie. But Wes springs into action to help her. He has like an extra pair of like workout clothes in his trunk. So he like helps lead her up to the bathroom.
Wes is a big guy. He is described as 6 foot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and hey, and we'll learn this in the other book that we'll be reading by Liz Painter. She writes a tall lead because the other guy I think is like 6'4" in the next book.
okay, love that. That rocks.
Yeah, she's writing these tall, athletic, hot, nice guys, which honestly, here for it.
Yeah, I know. He just sounds like he has like a broad chest and really big hands. But anyways, Wes gives sorry, I'm obsessed with Wes. I've looked up so much fan art. Anyways, Wes gives her the clothes from his car, and they are just falling off of her. So she has washed her clothes in the sink. She's like, I can't save this. She puts it in the bag that Wes gives her, and she kind of trots on down to the basement. She's talking to Michael. Michael takes note that there is a tattoo that she has. I thought it was like on her lower, like near her thigh, like upper
Yeah, I pictured
pelvis,
it kind of as like
lower.
a bigger tattoo that goes from like her rib cage down her side, because like they said
Got
that
it.
the pants are falling down, but I guess it could be thigh too if the pants were like really falling down.
It's in a place where it's like you probably shouldn't be exposing it as a high school girl, but
Yeah,
also who knows? I don't know.
it's
I've
a
grown the
forehead
dress code.
tattoo. No, it's not.
Yeah, she's got a forehead
Um,
tattoo.
but also
Yeah.
another point for Wes, he's just like holding her purse like on his shoulder while he's waiting for her to be ready, just like hanging out at this party.
Also, I love this part because as her sweats or whatever too big clothes are like sliding down, and Michael does a whole like look up and down, which feels a little bit immodest. Wes like bunches the back of the sweats up and like is holding like her waist so they don't fall down. And he's
Yeah,
like, "We gotta go.
cute.
Clearly, Liz has got to go." And loved that. Okay,
Yeah,
that
and
was
Wes is
great.
gonna debrief her on the way home. He's like, "Hey, I put some feelers out. Michael's seeing you as little Liz. Like he's seeing you as a little girl, not in a way that it's like, wow, she's like hot and I want to date her. Very much just like what a little sister vibe."
Yeah.
Um, and Wes also kind of admits that as he was trying to really defend her to Michael, Michael now thinks like, oh, Wes is super into Liz, so like now it's super off limits.
Yeah, so they got to do a little bit of recon, and
Yeah,
she
and
is
this
like
she's
actually
like, new
thinking sh
idea, newsflash.
new
Let
idea.
she's like elevated the idea. We have to fake date. That'll work, and then we'll stage a breakup. Michael will see how dateable I am. Then he'll fall in love with me. on the rebound. And Wes is like, the fuck? Okay, but I get the parking spot forever then because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna torpedo his dating life? Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Oof.
So, Wes's plan is to invite her to a basketball game later that night, and Jocelyn is like, "Hey, we still have to go dress shopping. What Libby is at work currently, and she's just gonna blow off prom dress shopping again because Wes is like, I'm bringing you to the basketball game, but you can't keep dressing up like Grandma Myrtle. We
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta
get
put
a new
on, literally
wardrobe."
just wear a pair of jeans. That's all I'm asking. And literally after so much back and forth, Liz finally agrees to go to the mall with Wes. And it turns out Wes has very good style. Like, he is very good at picking out clothes for her. He also ends up buying her a pair of Converse, which is so nice.
He says white and green are your colors, girl, and I was like, "Dang." I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean,
She's
yeah.
got red hair.
Liz also on the way back tells him about her soundtracks, what she calls, and how she constantly is making soundtracks for moments in life, and how that's really fun and interesting to her. And like, he's really engaged in this conversation, and Liz is starting to realize, wait, Wes is actually kind of hot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of
Yeah,
trying, she's starting to realize that. So, as
yeah,
the clock is turning in her mind, she's waiting for him to pick her up later that night for the basketball game. Jocelyn does stop by to try to solidify these dress shopping plans with her, and she did run into Wes and Liz shopping earlier, and they made up a lie really quick that they were just out shopping for Wes's mom.
yeah.
Wes comes over to pick her up, and Joss is like, "Wait a minute, you guys are fully going on a date tonight." And Liz like can't explain obviously what their whole plan is.
It's
But
so,
she's
and
like,
Liz
"I
is
think you
not
guys are going
acting
on a
cool
date."
right now. Jocelyn is like, something is fucking up. Like, what are you doing? What is going on? And it's a whole, things are getting stickier by the minute, if you will.
They are going to drive to Adam, one of Wes's friends' house, and on the way, I love this. Liz is like, "You have a new scent." And he's like, "Oh?" "What are you talking about?" And she's
Liz,
like, "Usually
what's
it's more
that?
piney, but it's kind of spicy tonight." And he's like, "Oh, you know my smell?" And she's like, "Forget about it." And he's like, "No, no, no, let's get into it. What do you you know my
Yeah,
smell?"
Liz admitting that she's been paying more attention to Wes than she's realized.
Mhm.
Also, Michael is texting like Wes on like the arrival and the plan, and Wes, good guy, he's like, "I'm texting. Please respond to Michael on my behalf. Let him know we're like a few minutes out." And
Yeah.
Liz also does a little goofy thing. She tells Michael as Wes that he is his hair hero, and he needs to tell him everything he does to his hair, which I thought was actually really fucking funny.
I thought it was very funny too. So they get to Adams. Wes does that thing which was so high school, and I love it, where he situates himself in the car so that Liz and Michael are sitting next to each other. Like, I used to love when friends would do that, where they're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, so I'm gonna do it, so like you guys like have a
Yeah.
moment alone," and you'd have like a whole like Louvre heist level plan for like
Yeah.
getting your friend with the person that they had a crush on.
Exactly. And so they're talking a little bit, and Liz is like, "This is perfect, but uh-oh, they're making a
Mhm.
stop on the way. They're
Yeah.
picking up Lainey, who's on the dance team, and she just needed an extra hour to get ready. So some of her friends were gonna pick her up." And she's like, "That's awesome." Liz doesn't play this off. She just panics and shuts down like in the car, and she just pulls out her phone and starts reading.
I
Yeesh.
mean, so me coded. She's also reading a romance book, and Wes is like, "I'm bored. Can I read over your shoulder?" And it is a sex chapter. It's fully a sex chapter. And she starts scrolling really fast so he can't read. And she's like, I didn't want to read anymore. And he's like, "Oh? And why is that? Why did you
Yeah.
want
You
to
wanna
keep
explain
reading?" Because
that?
he fully read that it was also a sex chapter, which was so funny.
So during the game, Wes is like, sports aren't Liz's thing. He starts making a sports bets with her so she gets more engaged, which also shows her to Michael how like, oh wow, she's really into sports. How cool.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's awesome. And then at halftime, they sneak into a gym to like just shoot baskets with the group. And Liz ends up shooting baskets with Michael after Wes is like somehow again orchestrates them doing basketball together.
Mhm.
But Michael the entire time keeps wingmanning Wes, and Liz is like, trying to get in here.
Yeah, but Michael does do the thing where he teaches her how to shoot by holding her elbows, and Liz is kind of asking him, like, who do you think you're gonna go to the prom with? When a ball just absolutely sails for her face, clocks her in the face, really hits her in the nose to the point of like,
Beans
I
are
thought it was
so
broken.
hard. Beans are as hard as you could be beamed in the nose without it breaking. So
Hmm. Wes covers her bleeding nose. He takes off his shirt.
hot.
And they go to the ER. It seems like Wes is really the only one concerned. The other boys are calling her like Mrs. Potato Head, and it really pissed me off. So the boys,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hated
Yeesh.
that. Like,
Didn't like that. No, they were like, they're like, whoa, that kind of looks like Mr. Potato Head. It's like, that's not helpful right now.
let's not never comment on a girl's appearance at 16 that
Yeah,
way.
Jesus Christ. But
Because maybe
Michael
she's a
does
little bit
text her
older.
that night to check in and be like, how's the potato nose? Is it better?
Yeah, solid opening.
Yeah.
And she also wants to make sure that Wes isn't mad at her because he seemed like a little bit upset at the ER when she brought up that like she was still talking about Michael. But it seems like it's fine because he gave Michael her number. So
Yeah, but here's the thing. She only does like maybe like a 4 text exchange with Michael. We got like 5 pages of her talking on the phone with Wes because she's having more fun and not overthinking it. Um and Wes does say like, "Hey, Michael said that he liked your look," but she kind of keeps flirting with Wes more than she was flirting with Michael.
she is very forward. She's like, "Where are you in your house? Where's your room? Turn your light on." And he's like, "Okay, creeper, relax. Why are you
Yeah.
looking at my windows?" And they watch Miss Congeniality on the same channel, and he asks her a ton of questions because he knows she plays the piano and things like that. And
Mhm.
she's like, "I don't know, sometimes when I'm alone, like I'll belt Adele." And the chapter ends with him telling her to add Someone Like You by Adele to their playlist because he's trying to get a playlist going for the two of them now.
Which is so cute. The next day, Michael finds Liz at work and he's like, wow, you have 2 jobs? That's crazy. Because he, in his eyes, still thinks she works at this fictional diner. But he's looking for a new Bridgerton book because he just finished the other one and wants to get started on the following one. And Michael, nice guy, as she's like helping him find the book, he's like, I really think, Liz, you gotta take a shot with my friend Wes. He's a really good guy.
I know. So she's just in this pickle. What is she going to do about it? But later on, she's like, I got to catch up, mom, because it's that time. You know, some people have their lunch hour at work. Liz has her mom hour. So Liz is running to her mom's grave in the graveyard, and she's just kind of being like, here's my update. And Wes pops up because he's running. He saw Liz go into the graveyard. He was like, what's she up to? I'll go see.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize that she is talking to her mom and she kind of freaks out. She's like, there you go. Now you know that I'm crazy, I guess, because I talk to my mom all the time. And he's like, no, wait, I will leave you alone. I'm sorry. I did not realize this was like a moment.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse because when she gets home, her dad is like asking if she would take her stepmom, Helena, to go dress shopping to the prom with her. And she's like, I mean, she's sad. Her mom's missing all these moments of her senior year.
Yeah, things definitely going from bad to worse for Liz. When Liz goes back up to her room, she does have a very nice text from Wes just being like, "Hey, again, I really had no idea. I am sorry. Like, I totally respect whatever you are doing as part of your grieving process and I'm sincerely like apologize." And Liz does take a breath and is like, "No, no, no. I understand. I was also like quick to react in that very moment. So everything is now cool between them." And yeah, it's cute.
And he's like, by the way, what are you up to? And she's like, I'm just kind of hanging out. And he's like, you should come see the backyard. I did up the backyard. And she's like, I can't sneak out. It's like 10 p.m. And Wes is
And
like,
he's like, "I
you're
can."
fine.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah, and she sneaks
Love.
out and he's like redone this entire backyard area. There's like twinkle lights and comfy chairs and a bonfire. It's very, very cute. Yeah,
Yes.
and they
And
just kind
he's
of like
like,
sit.
he's clearly upset that he upset her. And she's like really surprised by the fact that she wants to be closer to him. But
Oops.
it ends with Michael them letting them know that Michael has invited them both over and she's still orchestrating it. She's like, "You know what? at Michael's little movie night, let's decide then that we don't like each other, and then
Yeah.
we can break it off." And
Yeah,
Michael's like,
Liz
"Okay."
is now trying to self-destruct, and she's also, like, trying to counter, like, "Oh, the girl that girl, Alex, like, I've heard she really likes you." And Wes is not really interested. He's like, "She's, like, cool, but, like, I really, like, want a girl I can laugh with, and Alex hasn't really been that for me."
And it's really a bummer too, because this is like a moment where they're really opening up because obviously she has just talked about how sad she was that her mom died. And he was like, obviously it's not the same, but I get it. I was like a mess when my grandma died. And he tells a story of her mom pretending to cut her finger on a rose to make him feel better about an owie he got as a kid so he wouldn't feel embarrassed. And she lets him in on the fact that she's really lonely without her mom there for senior year and like
Yeah.
apprehensive about her stepmom joining her dress shopping. And Wes is like, you can include Helena and not replace your mom. And it really
Yeah.
changes Liz's perspective on the whole matter.
Yeah, it's really sweet. So Liz does invite Helena dress shopping, and Helena's really excited. She really just like wants to, have a relationship with her stepdaughter. And they go to Starbucks, and Helena's honestly really fucking cool. She's like, "You gotta fill me in on what the deal with Wes is." So Liz like tells her everything basically about the plan, about what they've been doing, about Michael. But Liz, while she's explaining this, is also realizing what a catch Wes is.
Hmm.
And that she's kind of like, oh, she's kind of using like a great grade A person to fall in love with someone that she doesn't know very well.
And Helena is like, okay, wait. So when you were talking to Michael, you got vomited on, your nose started bleeding. Kind of feels like the universe favors Wes. And Liz is like, hmm, I don't know how to feel about that comment. So Helena, Jocelyn, and Liz and Josh's mom, they all meet up. They're having fun dress shopping, but Liz is horrendous at picking dresses. She cannot like
She
separate
cannot
herself from the
pick
idea
something that's
of
like
Zoe
not
Deschanel.
floral, not
Yeah.
like she can't pick a contemporary option. But she finally finds a white dress that she's like, wait a minute, I kind of like this. And it has pockets and she looks banging in it.
And it has florals too. And she texts Wes and she was like, "You're right for the advice. White really is my color." And he sends back a text that truly, I'm not even in the text convo, but I was rolling around in my bed. I was literally kicking my feet. He says, "Pick, please." Okay.
And so she gets
What?
nervous. She's like, am
No.
I about to send him a picture, like a selfie of me? What? Um,
And then she says no, and he goes, "Fine, just send me a photo so I feel involved, like of anything, just any object." And she's like, "Whatever." So she sends a photo of her in the dress to him, and he sends back, "Buy that dress, please. I'm begging you." And I was like, "We're so back."
but after this exchange with Wes, which is very, very cute, situation turns sour. Liz suddenly just starts getting weird about Helena being here, mostly at the sake that her mom isn't there. And
Yeah.
it's clear that Liz somehow has this thing in her brain where she thinks that like Helena is trying to replace her mom, which Helena has never tried to do. So Liz just like
Yeah.
buys the dress for herself, is being very standoffish, very much like, I just want to go home now. Like, can we get over it like this? This is so lame.
She gets triggered very easily.
Yeah.
Helena basically says, "Your dad's gonna love you in that dress, Libby." And she's like, "Don't call me Libby."
Yeah.
Fully,
Yeesh.
hands down, no.
Yeesh.
So she kind of freaks out, and back home, it's tense. Wes texts her about a meteor shower that's happening, so she goes to the backyard for like a bit of reprieve. And they talk about college. She's like, "I'm gonna go to UCLA," and he's like, "Wait, that's crazy." And she's like, "Why?" And he was like, "I don't know. I mean, it's California, South Carolina, all these places want me to play baseball, and one of them is UCLA." So
Yeah, yeah, no, like what Wes obviously like he also is kind of envious. Like she gets to definitely pick where she gets to go to college. He's like, I need someone to pick me. I'm going to college to play baseball, so
yeah, and it seems
uh,
like, and she's realizing, she's like, "Shit, he's really good at baseball," because all these people are probably going to make offers for him.
yeah.
And they have a bit of separate ideas on this, which is she wants to do a career in music supervision of soundtracks for
Mm,
movies. So she can only go to California or New York. And Wes is like, "I have nothing in this town. So like I
yeah.
need to leave." And she's a little bit upset at that comment, even though she
Like you're
also
leaving
basically
too.
on the same page.
Yeah.
Like,
Liz, stop it. You're being weird. But their dad also, Liz's dad also comes and interrupts this moment. And he's like, what the hell are we doing out here on school night, kids? And they lovely can use the meteor shower as an excuse. And he totally buys into it. It's fine.
Exactly. So next day is movie night at Michael's. Huge. They're gonna go to Stella's beforehand, which is a
Yeah.
burger
And Liz
place. That
is
sounds amazing.
excited, really
Mhm.
excited for dinner. She's not really excited about going to see Michael at movie night. The entire day, she's thinking about going to dinner with Wes.
Yes. So they get to the diner and she's realizing, like, fuck, all of his quirks that she should hate, because she's a red flag girly. He is cracking his knuckles. She finds it endearing, which is a
Yeah.
lot, because cracking your knuckles, that's, I mean, if you find that endearing, you're in deep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
fucking crazy.
Um, and Liz asks him like the classic Harry met Sally question, like, do you think that guys and girls can be friends? And this is a catalyst for Liz to start to realize, holy shit, we might not stay friends after Michael and I start dating. And that's a big concern for her now because she's like, wait, I like being friends with Wes. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, so she's kind of grappling with this new thought as well.
So they head to Michael's. They're kind of watching a slasher movie. They're talking during the movie. And there's like a moment where they're really close and she's like looking at his mouth very intimately and he's like noticing that she is looking at his mouth and he is like locked in and she's realizing she wants to kiss Wes.
Yeah, finally. I literally wrote in my notes, finally, that she's like, nail on the head. I actually want to kiss this guy. What the heck am I doing? And so now, like, Liz's, like, love meter has very much shifted into, like, Wes's court. She's not interested in talking to Michael this night. And, like, he goes and gets up to get them some drinks, and
Because Noah
Liz goes
sits
to
down,
follow him, but
ruins the
Liz sees him
moment.
on the deck with Alex, and she gets really jealous. And then
Yep.
Wes awkwardly gets her and Michael alone in the piano room, and she's like, no, wait, I want Wes to be here. And
And this is
it,
a really fun miscommunication moment because I was telling Laura this in the deep, deep dredges of me looking up Wes fan art. I found two essays that Lynne Painter had wrote. One is from Wes's point of view of this night and then also prom later on. But I will say from Wes's point of view, when he goes onto the porch with Alex, he is talking to Alex. Alex tells him that Michael likes Liz, and he's like, fuck. And he's trying to get her in the piano room so he can have that moment where like she's smiling at him again. And also, Alex is in on the bet because she likes Adam, and Wes's sister told Alex about this. So, like, Alex is using Wes's affection to like get Noah
wow.
to
So
like
Alex
her.
has her own deal that she's running behind the scenes.
Yes, and Wes
Amazing.
is like
What a
maybe
farce. I love it.
Wes is really hoping that this like Alex situation can like get Liz to like realize that it's like, oh fuck, okay, maybe I am jealous. Maybe I also like him. So
Yeah.
that's the behind the scenes of that. So
But when Liz and Michael are alone in the piano room, she plays a little bit, and Michael's like, "So Wes told me that he was friend zoned," and Liz is like, "Fuck."
yeah.
And Liz asks him about prom and is very much trying to like not outwardly say like you should still ask Lainey, but she's being so ambiguous that it sounds like she's making like a plea that he should go with her. It's
Yes, it's like one of those moments where you're talking and you're like, it's clearly she is talking about Wes and realizing at the time she's like, and sometimes the people that we sought to go out with the first time, maybe they're not right with us, but then maybe they are. Maybe they actually we should go there. And Michael just thinks that she's talking about like them, and he's like,
and
yeah,
it's like,
actually.
no, it's her realizing that she's been in like with Wes this whole time. They leave and it's raining outside, and very frighteningly, the car goes off the road. It doesn't fully smash into a tree. They just get stuck into like a little mud pit at the end of a hill, and they're fine, which is all good, but they have to wait for Wes's dad to come get them, and it's really rainy outside.
And he does mention, so again, I read this from Wes's point of view. How this goes is Liz brings up, she says, Wes, Wes panics. He freaks out. He's like, she's gonna deliver some like news that she likes Michael. I don't want to hear this. So he tries to change the topic by being like, hey, your hair's curly again. I think I really miss your like old clothes and things like that. And that is actually the exact right thing to say. That is exactly what Liz wants to hear because he says, you look best when you're you.
Yeah.
Catalyst. That absolutely, you look best when you're you. It's game on. She
Stars
jumps his
collide,
thumbs.
mouth open. She goes in for the kill. They start making out as it's pouring rain outside of this car. And Wes has to like tap her on the shoulder, being like, hey, um, I think my dad's here, so we kind of need to like stop this now.
Yes, also he's like saying he says her name 3 times and it like it's said that he says it into her mouth and he's like from his point of view again still trying to make out with her as he's like also trying to like be like we need to stop because my dad is here.
Yeah.
Which I love. And it's so hot. His dad shows up so they have to part and they're both like for the record, I wish we were still making out.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruined moment. Um,
Ruined.
but she does tell Helena that her and Wes kissed when she gets home. She also texts Jocelyn when she gets home too. So like Liz is like, again, time change. I'm all in on Wes now. The chips are down. All bets are off. And the next day at school, she's like obsessing about that Wes. She's like, "Where is he? He hasn't texted me yet today." And then he finally texts her, and she's like, "Oh my god, thank God he texted me." Again, all
Yeah.
very high school. And she's walking down the hall, and she sees this giant promposal setup, and she's like, "This is a huge promposal setup." And then she's like, "Wait a minute, is it set up on my car?" And it's like this whole boggle setup where like there's a bunch of like boggle letters inside her car and 4 of the letters spell out prom. And she turns around and there's Michael ready to ask her to prom.
Yeah, and it's like everyone is congregated for this. Wes is seeing this. She can't get him to make eye contact with her, and then when she finally does, he dog whistles encouragingly. So she's like, I
Yeah.
mean, well, fuck. I guess we can go. I guess it's like I have to go with Michael because it seems like Wes is giving up.
Yeah, she does do a very long pause because she really is like, I don't know what to do. And Michael's like, hey, like, you're kind of taking a while to respond. And she's like, shit.
Like this, he's like, this is kind of embarrassing, and yeah, so this is where everything goes downhill because Joss is mad about this. She's like, "What the hell is this? You're hurting both Lainey. You're hurting Wes clearly." And Liz is like, "This wasn't really my plan." But Joss is like, "What are you talking about
Like, what
plan?
plan? Because
Like you've
Jocelyn
been
hasn't been in on
scheming?"
this the whole time.
And Joss is just like, I'm done. You know what? I don't know who you are. I don't know what this little scheme thing is. You're using people in your life. I don't like it. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
So their friendship is on pause.
Pause. And Liz goes home and tells Helena what happened and everything with the promposal and all of that. It's not good.
It's not good. And Liz is just feeling like so betrayed by everyone in her life. So she goes on a run. She's like, I just need to talk to my mom. And Helena is at the grave, like asking her mom for like advice on Liz, having her own little moment. And Liz is like, this is way too much. This is my space. This is not your space. Stop trying to be my mom. You don't know me. You don't want to get to know me. I don't care. Like all this shit. And it's just a really tense interaction.
Yeah. No, and Helena like calls it out. She's like, dude, I am not trying to be your mom, but you having a sort of relationship to me is not going to make you forget that she ever existed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Damn. And yeah.
after that, just to make matters worse, I mean, it's like dominoes. After this tense interaction, she runs into Wes, all this pent up emotion, and she really lays it out and wants to make sure that he feels
She's
hurt.
just like self combusting at every turn. She tells him, thanks for getting me Michael, and just leaves it at that.
Yeah, she's like, thanks for being a placeholder. You're just like a fun dive bar. Michael is like a 4-star Michelin restaurant. Ow. And he is taking it in stride, kind of, not really saying. And then he takes note that she's wearing her running gear, probably visited her mom, probably feeling a lot of emotions. So he's very gentle with her, trying to give her an out, and is like, I don't want you to miss out on the good stuff because you are obsessed with this idea of what a romantic comedy should be. Your
Yeah.
mom didn't want you to fucking find true love in high school. She wants
Yeah.
you to not miss out on the good stuff. And Liz is like, "What? You're the good stuff?" And he's like, "I could be." And which is so sad. It broke my heart. And
Yeah.
she's like, "You're not.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not. I know what it is and it's not you."
Yeah, no, Liz very much sucks right now. I wrote that in my notes, and Liz like even tells him like, you know what, forget about me. It's dramatic. It's dramatic times 10.
Yeah.
And prom day rolls around, and we get a horrible internal monologue of Liz justifying all of her actions up to this point and trying to convince herself that she's happy because she's going to go to dinner with Michael and prom with Michael. And she's not. She's not happy. She refuses to admit
She's
that she's
miserable.
made any sort of mistake.
Michael
It's
looks
bad.
great. They go to this nice steak place alone. She's not with any of her friends, which would be my worst fucking nightmare at prom.
Yeah.
At this steak place, she runs into Lainey in the bathroom and she's like, "Great. Now I have to deal with fucking Lainey." And Lainey's just like a nice person. She's complimenting her mom. She's like, "I always like thought your mom was like ethereal and was always so nice to me," and things like that. And like, "I'm happy you're here with Michael. He seems to like really care about you." And Liz can't take this. She's like, "Lainey, Michael didn't ask you because he thinks you're hung up on your ex. And like it's clear you're just hung up on him. If you make the first move, I promise he will reciprocate." And Lainey really appreciates this
Yeah,
interaction.
yeah, Liz realizes like her own, hubris and wingmans Michael to Lainey, which is awesome. But also at the table, Michael shows her some texts between him and Wes, where Wes is just talking about how great Liz is. So she's really like, damn, I've messed this up.
Yeah.
At prom, immediately, like Liz tells Michael to just go find Lainey because clearly
Yeah.
they want to be together. So Liz is gonna go hide in a stairwell and just like wait it out for a little bit. But on her way to do that, she finds Jocelyn, who is hiding from her denim clad suit wearing date that she hastily got after everybody else started getting dates. And she's not having any fun either.
No, and they make up. She explains to Joss that she's like, "Listen, this has been a weird year. I put off dress shopping because my mom wasn't going to be there. I had all these big expectations about senior year because of it, and I don't know how to explain that to someone." And Joss is like, "I completely get it." Noah, one of Wes's friends, also show up, and they all just kind of pass the time. Jocelyn and Noah really
Hitting
hitting
it
up,
off.
really flirting. Um, and Liz is like, "You know what? I don't want to see Alex and Wes dancing because at one point she did, and it seems like
Mhm.
Wes kind of turned away from her." Um, Very fun because she thought she was giving him a very flirty look. I did read prom from Wes's point of view as well. He thought that that was a look of like, "I don't give a fuck about you. I don't fuck with you anymore." So Wes was like, "I don't want to deal with this."
So funny.
So she does go home. She's like, "I'm just gonna watch romantic comedies. Fuck senior prom, I guess."
She does apologize to Helena at this point of time as well, and Helena and her dad are like, "Yeah, this is kind of crazy that it took you this long. Wes has been obsessed with you forever, basically." And they go through this Rolodex of like memories of him sitting outside, like their piano room window, and like listening to her play piano, and like they were like, "He doesn't need the parking spot, Liz. He parks in the driveway when he doesn't have the spot. He's just doing that as an excuse to talk to you." And Liz is like, oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So she's gonna do a big grand romantic gesture. She's got s'mores. She's got a boombox ready. She's gonna lay everything out in their little backyard area, and she's waiting for him to get back from prom. And she hears him coming back with Alex.
Yeah, he's coming back with Alex. They're going to the spot. And she says the craziest thing, which is first she tries to justify being out there crawling around,
At first, she's
which
trying to hide. Doesn't work.
and they're like, Wes is like, "What are you doing back here?" And she's like, "I'm so sorry, my cat just got out." And Wes is like, "We talked about this earlier. Your cat never leaves the house." And she's like, I guess I dropped my lucky penny. And, you know, sometimes you just drop a penny, and people usually throw away a lot of pennies because they're common, but that penny was really lucky to you, and now you can't find it, and it's gone now. He's
She's just doing this horrible monologue metaphor for Wes being her penny that she has lost, and now she's realizing the importance of this lucky penny.
and Alex is still there, and Alex goes, Liz, do you need to borrow money?
Which one of the greatest just like comedy literary scenes I've seen of like this monologue's like I think like a half page. It is long. And then just like long pause, girl who's not involved going, do you need some money? I'll give you some money. And then we smash cut to Liz sob singing as she's driving around in the night wearing a hoodie. And then she goes to McDonald's.
Wait, sorry,
Just
not just
tear
any
stained
hoodie
face.
either. He's wearing Wes's hoodie, so he is like, what the fuck is going on?
And after she's gotten her good like sobbing crying out, she parks in the spot because she's like, yeah, fuck that guy, which all the power to you, Liz. I'd be so mad too. And she has her McDonald's, and he's like, and then he's outside of her car, she parks, and she's like, good night, like, got my McDonald's, I'm leaving.
Yeah, she's in the parking lot, and also again, read this whole night from Wes's point of view too. He's like sitting on his porch waiting for her to come out of the car so that he can talk to her, and he says she sits in there for 20 minutes, so he has to go knock on the
She's
window.
eating her McDonald's.
And he's like, okay, what are you doing? Are we gonna talk about this? And she's like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about? And he's like, do not say penny. And she's like, my coin? Are we talking about my coin that I lost?
And he's like, you know what, fine, I'll lead the conversation. I don't like Alex like that. And he's like, and I've been in love with you for a very long time. And
Yeah,
then they kiss.
they do. And it's really sweet. He's like, I've loved you since second grade. Did you realize if you weren't so fucking stubborn, we could have been doing this for a really long time?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
that's what
he's like,
happens.
he says that enemies to lovers is their trope, and from his point of view, the book does actually end because the kiss is interrupted by Liz's dad. Liz is like yelling at her to come inside, and he asks for one more second so he can ask his daughter out, which I thought was very sweet.
That is really cute. We do
Mhm.
get a really cute little epilogue, very tastefully done. It's like a page and a half. It's Wes and Liz planting flowers outside of her mom's grave, and they're talking about that they're planting the specific flowers so that way, for like the fall, they'll be fully bloomed. And we learned that Wes is going to UCLA for baseball, and he's being very cute about it, being like, it's not because we're dating, it's because they have a good baseball program. It's just a perk that we get to go there together.
Mhm.
And they're gonna go on like a little road trip as they drive out there.
They are. And readers, listeners, people of the world, this book ends by having a compilation of Wes and Liz's playlist together. The soundtrack, there's a lot. Up All Night by Mac Miller was on there, which was kind of a fun one.
Mm.
Someone Like You, obviously. I'm reading them as like a Forrest Gump by Frank Ocean. But we were thinking, what would Meggie and Laura's playlist look like? So that's our top five. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about the top five songs that we think would be on our playlist if once we make it after this episode.
We could make, yeah, I feel like we make a banging playlist, but I also think Maggie and I would not be able to edit a playlist and it ultimately will be like 100 songs. But number
Well, that's a
five,
great
coming
segue into number five.
Good, great way to segue into number five. An artist we started listening to in the pandemic when she only had 4 songs out. Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan.
Mm.
A great time to be alive. Absolutely has to be on there. Maggie went as Chapel Roan for Halloween one year. I've seen her twice, and
And Chapel Roan put me on her Instagram story because it was before she blew up. So she's never
yes,
going to do that again for you guys. Sorry.
exactly.
Um, Number four, speaking of having 100 songs on our playlist, we would need the entire album Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen to be on
It's a
there.
no skip album. It's a perfect album. It's a very underrated album.
I think it really captures our first few years of Chicago together and also friendship together, which is really
Yeah,
great. And we saw her at the Chicago Theater way back when. So
we did, didn't we?
she played the store. Great song.
Yeah. And now coming in at number 3, we have Voulez-Vous by ABBA. Megan and I are big on ABBA. And we could go into a longer explanation of why it needs to be on this list, but we'll just let it rest at it's on the list.
It's on the list. Number 2, I mean, this is pretty obvious. Raise Your Glass by Dina Dudley, the Vanderpump Rules intro theme song.
Maggie and I binged like the first 2 seasons of Vanderpump Rules in their apartment when we lived down the hall from each other. And by like episode 3, I think we were just going, every time every time the theme song came on, we would just sing it at our full capacity.
God, it's so
Um,
good.
and then finally, number 1, I'm sure everyone's like, what would Maggie and Laura possibly put on this list? It's going to be a recent memory of ours. We're putting Hungry Like the Wolf on there by Duran Duran.
We recently had 2 friends get married, and I would chase Laura around like the wolf when it
Yeah,
got to the wolf part.
I got Maggie was a hunter and I got shot once. It was really cool. We did a very good interpretive dance.
There's no videos of it, and that's what drives me
No.
crazy is that Laura and I were the only 2 people on the dance floor
Yeah, no,
too.
but our friend Ben did come up to us afterwards and said that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. So in Ben's eyes, it lives on.
Thank God. That rocks. I wonder if Ben has a video.
And that's gonna be it for this episode. We did it.
That's gonna be it. And we will see you guys next week for the second book.
Yeah,
Nothing
nothing like
like
the
the
movies too.
movies.
This time, more movies. It's not called that.
More movies.
And we can't wait to do more of that. And you can email us at MaggieandLauraPresent@gmail.com and give us subscriptions and 5 stars and comments and rave reviews and all of that jazz.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.